Hello guys, welcome again sa ating channel dito lang sa DJ Princenal. Ako pala si DJ Princenal and ngayon ay magdi-discuss ako about sa and how I are going to pass the initial interview as promised during my last vlog at nag-share din ako ng videos related about sa yung mga bagong knowledge na kailangan natin matutunan. I'm also featuring about mobile applications na kung saan kikita tayo ng hindi naman gaano kalaking pera, at least may ano tayo, may Hello guys, welcome again sa ating channel dito lang sa DJ Princenal. Ako pala si DJ Princenal and ngayon ay magdi-discuss ako about sa and how I are going to pass the initial interview as promised during my last vlog at nag-share din ako ng videos related about sa yung mga bagong knowledge na kailangan natin matutunan. I'm also featuring about um, online or mobile applications na kung saan kikita tayo ng hindi naman gaano kalaking pera, at least may ano tayo, may makukuha tayong certain amount na na money so that we can also support or parang add lang natin sa ating yung mga kailangan natin in everyday life. At right now, ang gagawin natin is to continue about on how we are going to pass the initial interview. Actually, there are a lot of tips on how we should learn and how we should practice in order for us to pass the initial interview. And right now, for my case, there are 19 sample questions. And disclaimer lang, not all these questions are made by me. Those questions are also related to the questions that were asked to me during the interview during sa pag-apply ko sa call center. And right now, let us now start. So, um, so let us now start with the very first page. But by the way, guys, ang gagawin natin dito is we're not going to tackle all the 19 sample questions. Ang gagawin natin lang dito is yung pinaka-common na question first. So, yung ibang questions, ibang sample questions will be tackled on the next vlog ko na. Okay? Then the first one, katulad nga sinabi ko is ha, tell me about yourself. Sorry, na question mark siya, so it shouldn't be in a question mark. So ang sabi dito is tell me about yourself. So ano ba tong tell me about yourself? So nakalagay dyan sa taas, here are some of the sample questions that you need to familiarize. Not, katulad nga sinabi ko kanina, not all those 19 questions na sinabi ko, i-discuss natin today. I-discuss natin yung iba in the next days to come, in the next vlog. Right. Tell me about yourself. Open-ended question lang to siya. So, para matutunan natin lalo, let us proceed in the next page. So, why they ask this question? So, kailangan natin isipin kung bakit sila nag-ask ng question. So, usually sa interview, ito yung pinakaunang i-ask nilang question is because they wanted to know about you, your background. They wanted to, and all the other questions will be taken dito din sa question na to. Tell me about yourself. So, sabihin mo sabihin mo sa amin kung ano ka, kung sino ka. So, tell me about yourself. The next one, all right, alam mo yung moment. All right. Surely they ask not about your story in life. So, kadalasan kasi yung common mistakes natin is that um, when we are asked to answer about the question, tell me about yourself, yung nasa isip din natin is yung parang i-discuss na natin yung full story, parang nag-MMK na tayo. So, it's not about that. Tell me about yourself. They're not asking about your story in life, your ups and downs. Pwede naman yung mga ups and downs, pero mga shallow cases lang or mga shallow or part lang doon, pero not all of it. Kasi aabot kayo ng 24/7, hindi pa kayo tapos sa interview. So, the next is to get the general idea about yourself, so it is the perfect time to impress them. So, sa question pa lang dito, ito yung pinakaunang question. So, we need to impress already the interviewer. So, as interviewee, we need to practice already before the time. We need to familiarize already kung ano yung mga bagay na kailangan nating i-share during the time. And so, by the way, so how do we answer? Tell me about yourself. Paano ba natin to sasagutin? So, paano ba natin ito sagutin ang tell me about yourself? Ito, sample questions. By the way, hindi yan sa akin ah. So, I just took that one from, ayan, nasa baba yung ang source ko. So, ganito yung pagsagot. So, sure, so my name is Joe and I am 27 years old. So, for the past 5 years, I've been working as a business analyst at company X and Y. I have some background in data analysis with a degree from University XY. What really got me into the field, though, is the internship I did at Company Z. Throughout my career, I've noticed that I've always been good with numbers and handling data. For example, when I was working at Company X, I led a project for migrating all operations data to a new data warehousing system to cut down on cost. The new solution was a much better fit for our business, which eventually led to savings of up to $200,000 annually. Moving forward, I hope to expand my experience across different industries, particularly fintech, which is why I'm interested in your company. So, yun yung siyang ano guys, yun ang sample questions na kailangan nating sagutin. So, sa mga questions na yun, sa I mean sample answer sa tell me about yourself. So, madali lang yun. So, it's not, hindi talaga siya na didig deeper ka talaga sa kung ano yung past experiences mo, kung ano lang yung mga mga lessons mo doon, mga na-learn mo doon, ano yung mga, ano yung naging ano yung naidulot sa'yo noon and your experience, only your experience and where are you good at. Lang yung mga capacities mo, yung aptitudes mo, yung capabilities mo. It's not about your life story. So, hindi naman yun importante. So, the thing is, you just need to summarize. Okay? Summarize nyo lang lahat yon. At saka you don't need to, like what I said, you don't need to tell your story fully na parang gumagawa na kayo ng novel. So, this is not, um, hindi to drama dito, hindi tayo novelist na nagsusulat ng novel. So, we have to answer directly and dapat with detail pa rin kahit na summarize lang yun. So with detailed pa rin kung ano yung mga natutunan natin, then yung mga past experiences natin. So the next question is about the four essential tips on answering. Tell me about yourself. So ito, kinuha ko lang din to sa certain websites. So ayan siya, ipakita ko sa inyo yung ano niya, is about novoresume.com. Ang nakalagay dyan is um, for essential tips on answering, tell me about yourself. So number one is keep it professional and brief. When answering, try to keep it under 1 to 2 minutes at most. So dapat yung questions ay dapat yung ano natin is only 1 to 2 minutes. Kasi nakaka-bored pag more than that na. So hindi sila interested sa life mo actually. They are just getting the general idea para makuha pa sila ng iba't ibang questions na ito-throw nila sa'yo. So that is why we have to keep it short and simple. Kaya sabi nga nila, 'di ba, KISS method. Keep it short and simple. Then, The HR manager doesn't want to know your entire life story. Katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi niya kailangan matutunan lahat ng anong kwento mo sa buhay mo because they are just after the work. They are just after kung ano yung trabaho nila. At saka wala silang oras na igugugol dyan sa makinig lang sa life story mo. So that is why keep it short and simple. 1 to 2 minutes is enough, right? Ngayon is they don't care actually they don't care about which kindergarten you went to or how your first internship went or what you studied in high school. So wala silang paki kung saang kindergarten ka ba nag-aral. Wala silang paki kung saan ka nag on the job training. Wala silang paki doon. Wala silang paki kung number one high school pa kayo sa Philippines or wala silang paki dun. They're just after on how you should answer the question so that makakuha sila ng general idea about you. Kaya sa tell me about yourself pa lang na question, the very first question is that dapat i-impress na natin sila. So you want to stick to your main selling points that are relevant for the job. So yung mga importante lang sa job, yun na yung mga ganun lang. So, may pro tip tayo dito. If you can see that the interviewer is getting distracted, you should take that as a sign that it might be time to wrap up. So, kung ma-distract na sila, alright ka ng um, sa first pa lang sa pagsasalita mo, sharing your past experiences at saka yung mga aptitudes mo, yung mga capabilities mo, then right after that, parang nadidistract na yung interviewer mo pag may konting konting movement na nakaka-catch yung attention niya. So, that's the time na kailangan na nating i-wrap up yung natin. Okay? Then, the next thing would be Ah, hi- ito dapat ay hindi dapat natin ganito yung pagsagot. We wouldn't answer the interviewer with this with this answer, okay? So dapat yung tell me about yourself kasi sabi nga 'di ba keep it professional and brief. So ganito yung dapat hindi pagsagot. Dapat hindi pagsagot. So I've always been interested in tech, but it all probably started when I was a kid. And at the age of 9, I first got my computer. I always loved playing around with code and learning new things. But it wasn't until that high school where I first had my first class about it that really made me fall in love with the subject. Since then, I started learning more about it and decided to major in IT at University X where I learned how to. So, hindi dapat siyang ganun pagkasagot. Kung makita natin doon is parang nag-storytelling na tayo yung kung makikita din natin hindi nakikater lahat ng dapat natin sasabihin. So, dapat summarize. Kaya palang before the interview, dapat naka-ready na tayo kung ano yung mga sasabihin natin. Okay? And the next thing would be practice but don't memorize. Ito yung number two sa mga essential tips on answering tell me about yourself. Practice but don't memorize. So ito din isa sa mga common natin na mali is we memorize those words or those answers by the other persons. So, kailangan natin mag-practice. We have to do it ourselves. Pero hindi natin dapat i-memorize kasi may possibility na may mental block tayo. Then you're bound to hear, tell me about yourself on just about on every interview. So, all you have to do is practice your own answer a bit. Grab a friend and do a quick mock interview. So, kuha ka ng friend. Pwede ate mo, tita mo, kung sino yan diyang available na willing to listen at saka willing to correct you. So, grab mo na yun sila, then practice together with them. Hindi mo dapat memorizein yung answer mo. Yes, you have already compose everything, naka-ready ka na, but you don't need to memorize it. You just need to be familiarized. Mas maganda kasi din mas maganda yung fluent ka sa pagsasalita at saka master mo yung topic mo or master mo yung isasagot mo. So keep in mind though that you shouldn't memorize your answer. Sure, it might seem like the safer option, but if you end up forgetting something on the interview, you might mess up your entire answer. So yan yung possibility na kinakabahan ka na, then you cannot go on with the process. It's because kasi kinakabahan ka na kasi na-memorize mo, yung isip mo is nakafocus lang doon, parang walang spirit yung sagot mo, walang conviction. So instead, come up with a general idea of what you're going to talk about, memorize the structure, and just wing the rest on the interview. So hindi natin yan kailangan na i-memorize lahat yan. Next thing is know your audience. So sino ba yung audience mo? So you don't need um, to prepare yourself na parang napakabongga ng pupuntahan mo. Remember, your audience are just your interviewer at saka yung mga kasamaan mo. So, or dapat alam natin kung sino yung interviewer natin. So, it's very important to keep in mind na kung sino yung kinakausap natin. So, let's get back to the first one. Let's be professional. So, is it the HR, business manager, the hiring manager, the CTO, CMO, CEO? You might be wondering, why does this matter? So actually, kung ito is ah, matter to kasi alam mo kung sino yung you know the person that you are going to face to or to talk with. Tapos ang nangyari pag alam mo na yon ng tao na yon, so the best thing that you need to do is to prepare and be professional sa harap niya. Okay? Then let's say you're a software engineer and you're being interviewed by the HR manager. If you start going on and on about how much you love coding in assembly, you've practically lost them. Nakafocus ka na doon eh. So, dapat mayroon tayong rapport or mayroon tayong eye to eye contact with them. Nakukuha natin yung attention nila by just impressing them sa mga past experiences natin. So, see, the HR manager doesn't know anything about coding or assembly. So, possible na hindi sila interested doon. Kaya, don't talk too much about it. They're expecting a more generic answer about you, yung sa'yo talaga galing, hindi yung kopya-kopya lang. So, they're expecting answers about your career and the reasons for applying at the company. So, on the other hand, if you're being interviewed by the CTO or the hiring manager, you can geek out as much as you want. Because, kasi alam yung sinasabi mo. So, kaya nga, di ba, dapat alam natin yung audience natin. Kaya, kung CTO or the hiring manager, alam niya lahat ng sinasabi mo. So, that means, naintindihan ka niya. Kapag ang HR naman walang background about the coding, so hindi niya yan maintindihan. So, that is why we have to know our audience. Next is number four. Number four, remember WAP, work, academic, personal. So every good answer to tell me about yourself should consist of work. This should make up about 80% of your answer. Focus on your previous experience and accomplishments here in work. So you have to focus on work. So 80% dapat ng sagot mo ay galing sa work, past experiences mo about work, and how you learn things, and how you manage, and how you handle criticisms. Kasi lahat ng yun may experience mo in work. Next one is academic. 10 to 15% of your answer should then be about your academic background. It could be in your university and academic achievements. Yung mga related na sa work mo, yung mga achievements mo, example, you're applying for being a journalist. Alright, experiencing you are about a journalist. Sorry, may kumatok. About example, you are a journalist, then you are trying to say, or you are trying to tell them about your achievements. You become a team leader in youngster magazine writing, essay writing, or ano pa yan dyan, or in photography, kung anong work yung ina-applyan mo. So it should be related then. Then personal. Finally, the last 5 to 10% um, should be about you as a person while still keeping it relevant to the company. Keep in mind though that the work, academic and personal isn't set in stone. So, pwede ka rin magdagdag pa. Okay? Then, if you're a student, for example, your entire answer could be about your academic, career, and personal interest. So, pwede din dun. Pwede din dun. Alright? Number 3, tell me about yourself sample answers. Ito yung mga sample answer about tell me about yourself. Right? Ito yung 3 tell me about yourself sample answers. Let me a moment. Let's go back. All right. Need some inspiration? Here are 3 sample answers for. One is experienced professionals. The other one is fresh graduates and college students. Then the other one is university admissions. Dito sa ano, sample answer for experienced professionals. So ito yung sample answer for the experienced professional. Ito yung dapat pagsagot is sure, I'd be glad to. I am a tech-focused project manager for up to 8 years. I graduated from the University X where I made the Dean's List, with a major in business administration and a minor in computer science. After that, I first got into the industry working as an administrative assistant at Company X. There, I provided clerical support with the interdepartmental communication, helped in managing schedules and maintain the digital filing system. After that, I was working as a project manager for a company wide that provided cloud computing solutions for about 6 years. There, I personally managed more than 5 teams of software projects and made sure everything went smoothly in terms of business goals, deadlines, budget, and many others. In my downtime, I enjoy reading about AI, tech, and robotics. Since you guys do all three, I thought I'd apply. Right, yun yung sa first one. Then for the second one naman is sample answer for fresh graduates and college students. Sorry, may sipon kasi ako yun. So, second sample question is about fresh graduates and college students. So here is the sample answer to fresh graduates. Now tell me something about yourself. So my name is Jane Drew. I'm 22 years old and I recently graduated from the University X with a BA in International Business. Well, there I learned a lot of theory in subjects like corporate communication, international economics, corporate governance, and more. I was also part of the student government and maintained a GPA of 3.6. I worked hard in my education and now I'm ready to apply my knowledge into practice. While I don't have any real life work experience, I've had a lot of exposure to the business environment. A lot of my courses involve working with real companies to solve real problems. Now I'm looking to leverage everything I've learned in and get some hands-on work experience. That is for the fresh graduate. The next one is sample answer for university admission. Here is the question. After the question, tell me something about yourself. So the next thing is you have to provide your answer. Here is the sample answer. So my name is John, and I'm a senior at school XYZ. This year, I managed to maintain a 3.7 GPA while working in a few different school projects. I started on Ernest Hemingway Book Club, which has up to 15 active members as of now, and I also launched a recycling program for the campus through which we raise awareness and invited an outside guest lecturer to speak about the subject. I tend to be teamwork oriented and reliable, as I've never missed a deadline. I'm also proud of my ability to preserve and overcome any challenges as they come up. For example, last year I was having some trouble with trigonometry. I realized I needed to dedicate more time to the subject. So I met with a teacher outside the class and aside 2 extra hours per day for the subject. Eventually, I ended up with an A in the subject. At University X, I'm planning to either major in English or journalism. I love reading and writing, so I think both programs are going to be interesting and relevant to my interest. Ganun lang siya yung sample questions. Then the next one is, meron tayo sa summary natin kung ano yung discuss natin about, tell me something about yourself. Yung number one question pala yun, mayroon tayong 19 questions. And by the way, in the next video, I think dalawang questions yung itatakal natin. So for now, yung mga, to summarize, to wrap up, um, yung question about how we are going to answer the important tips on how we are going to answer about tell me about yourself. So we have the structure your answer in a way that makes sense. Then you need to stick to the past, present, future format and you're all good. Keep it relevant and brief 1 to 2 minutes maximum. No one wants to hear your whole life story. So be professional, be relevant, and be direct. Okay, and mention any of your top achievements and relevant work experiences. Now, as this is the start of the interview, expect them to follow up and ask a bunch of other questions. Yung ibang questions na kinukuha nila doon sa yung sagot mo. So be careful with what you answer kasi gagamitin nila yon. Parang nasa husgado tayo dito. So, kaya make sure na you know about all those answers that you told them. And by the way, thank you guys. And this is now the end of the video. By the way, uh, uh, I thank you for staying with me up until this slide. And thank you. The next slide naman is i-discuss natin yung pangalawang questions. So you'll be able to know that in the next vlog na gagawin ko about call center tips on what are the tips that we need to learn. So dito is ang gagawin natin right now. By the way, meron tayong pag-giveaways. Meron tayo ditong meron tayong nagmimigay pa ako ng um 100 peso load every week. So, kukuha ako ng top 3. So, ang gagawin nyo lang is, kailangan nyo mag-subscribe sa channel ko, kailangan nyo mag-like, kailangan nyo mag-share, mag-comment, at saka hanapin nyo yung missing hashtag. Tsaka, ayun, you're good to go. At saka, makakuha ka na ng um, 100,000, I mean, 100 peso load. So, ang gagawin nyo lang, yung sabi ko kanina, then you have to you have to provide to me or I mean, i-message nyo ako sa Facebook ko or sa Messenger ko, ilalagay ko sa baba yung link ng Facebook profile ko para maka-message kayo. Then you have to provide to me the screenshot sa mga requirements na kailangan. Then also provide nyo din yung GCash number nyo or yung phone number nyo para mabigay ko yung prize. So every week yan, kukuha ko ng tatlong winners. Okay? And thank you for that. Thank you for that. Bye-bye. Sponsor time na naman tayo guys. So ngayon, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung shop ko. So, sa lahat ng gustong mag-shop online, meron tayo dito. Ito yung shopple ko. So, pwede kayo mag-shop dito. So, meron akong 72 posts ng mga products at saka kung gusto nyong mag-shop dito, you just need to click yung mga products na gusto nyo. Then, yan. Ito everything. Makikita nyo lahat ng mga products ko dyan. Ayan. Lahat na yan binibinta yan. So, i-click nyo lang yan. Then, you'll be able to order online. Tsaka, ayan. Ayan, may phone. May rice cooker tayo. May ceiling fan. May shorts, may mga t-shirts tayo. So, kung gusto niyang home appliances, click nyo lang tong home appliances. Ayan. Then, makikita nyo lahat ng mga home appliances na kailangan nyo. Then, kapag gusto nyo ng mga damit, ayan, mga shorts, click nyo lang yung clothing. Then, yung pag gusto nyo naman ng laptop and computers, meron tayo dito. Then, kapag gusto nyo naman ng, ayan, may laptop and computers. Pag gusto niyo naman ng shoes, meron tayong shoes dyan. Pili lang kayo sa gusto nyo. Yan, marami yan. Then, meron din tayong face mask. Sa gustong bumili ng face mask, meron tayong cellphones. Yan, click nyo lang yung cellphones. Then, yan, may buy one, take one tayo. Then, allow me a moment, okay? At saka, pag gusto nyo ng headphones and headsets, click nyo lang headphones and headsets. Ayan, hindi ko pa yun na-update. Mag-upload pa ako mamaya ng marami. Then, sa women's watches, mga babae dyan, kung gusto nyo bumili, ayan, bili na kayo nito. Then, sa mga Shopee products, ayan, ayan lang muna ang meron ako ngayon. Mag-upload pa ako mamaya. Then, CCTV camera, para safety. Printer naman, pag gusto nyo, isa pa lang meron ako. Tapos sa tablet, pag gusto nyo ng tablet. And thank you now. At saka pwede rin kayong mag-shop sa akin na mag-shop dito sa Shop Your Fashion. Search nyo lang sa Facebook, Shop Your Fashion. At saka yun, yan ang username, Ayula Store 06, shopping service. Ayan ang profile, ayan ang background. Pag gusto niyo naman sa, pag gusto niyo naman sa ano, ala, pag gusto niyo naman mag-shop, pag gusto niyo naman mag-shop sa isa pang ano ko, Facebook page, pwede kayo makapili kayo din ng products. Ayan. Ayan, gadgets and beauty products online selling Philippines. Pero may iba akong binibenta dito. Hindi lang ako nakafocus sa gadgets and beauty products. Hanapin nyo lang yan. Ayan. Click nyo lang yan siya. Tapos, ayan. Meron tayo dyang ano. So, mag-message yun lang kayo din. Sasagutin ko yan isa-isa. Ayan, mayroon tayong mga products dyan. Yung nakita nyo kanina. Ayan. Ayan, may mga link. Paano bumili. Ayan. Kailangan nyo yung link na yan. Then, ipindutin nyo lang yung link para makabili kayo. Maka-order. May face mask tayo, may phone, may rice cooker, may ceiling fan. Ayan. Search nyo lang yung dalawang Facebook page. Then, pwede na kayo makabili. Alright, thank you for listening. Goodbye. And keep safe always, everyone.